My Vata friends, I am going to teach you a breath which I find, as someone who also has a lot of Vata in my Ayurveda constitutional type, very beneficial to say the least, in times when I'm stressed, in times when I can't sleep. It's my go-to practice for restoring, bringing back a little balance, replenishing also my energy reserves, making me feel a little more grounded and in my body and at home in myself. And it really pacifies the mind too. So thank you for letting me share it with you. I really hope that you will try it out and for yourself, and that it can become just as beneficial a tool for you as I have found it. And I've set up here on my yoga mat, not one, but 2 blankets, and also a bolster. Because the thing about people with a lot of Vata in their type, in their constitutional type, is we tend not to nourish ourselves enough. We tend not, does it ring true? We tend not to give to ourselves quite enough. Maybe we give a little bit more to the world than we do to ourselves. And so what really helps to antidote and heal Vata as well is also excess Vata, is also like softness, nourishment, not only in foods, but in, soft furnishings, soft things to lie on, big, comfy, soft bed. So we are going to get a little soft and supported here. So 2 blankets, I've got a bolster about 2/3 of the way down the end of the mat. If you don't have a bolster at home, you can pause the video. You can grab like a pillow or a couple of pillows, or you can stack blankets. Just find something that you can substitute. And before we lie back, so we want to do this lying down. So we have as much of the body close to the earth as possible. This kind of becomes then the posture in itself becomes a very grounding start point, right? Because Vata is air and ether elements. So they're light and mobile and airy. And so let's get close to the earth. Okay, and then before you lie back, one thing I want to show you, which I hope you can see clearly, is that we are going to use this shape with the hands on the lower belly. So I'm bringing my thumbs and my forefingers together, and I make like a downward pointing triangle. We're going to place the hands right down around the area of like front area of the pelvis. So the index finger rests like just above the pubic bone, okay? Through this gesture, mudra we call it with the hands, will direct the breath. And the directing of the breath is going to shift the way the nerve currents flow. And for us Vatas, it's going to be, feel like a real treat, hopefully, and something much needed when the pressure is on us, okay? So you can lie back with the back of the knees over the bolster. For me personally, and if you have the freedom in your hips to do this, I like my hips a little bit open because it really helps my breath move down. So as long as it's comfortable for you, you might like to bring the soles of the feet together. And whilst we're really giving Vata dosha all the support needed, you might even like to bring a couple of cushions under each side of the thigh here for a little extra support, okay? So either knees wide apart like this, soles of the feet together, or simply back of the knees onto the bolster. Make that downward pointing triangle with your forefingers and thumbs and place the hands on your low belly. And feel the breath move in your belly without changing anything. Just begin to notice the gentle rise and fall of your breath. If you're new to yogic breathing, you might find in the beginning that the breath doesn't naturally move to the belly. Well, we can direct it there in a moment. But first, just settle into your breath. So however it's showing up for you actually right now. We're breathing in through the nose, we're breathing out through the nose. And can you begin to find an even rhythm to your breath? So you may be inhaling for 3 or 4 counts. Exhaling for 3 or 4 counts. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. By the way, if the elbows don't reach the floor, if you have slightly shorter arms, support under the elbows with cushions. Staying with the even breath. And then can you begin to sense that your inhale travels through the nose and descends all the way down through the torso into the space between the hands. Your exhale releases there. Inhale moves in through the nose, travels down into the space between the hands. Your exhale releases there. Continue like that. And as your exhale releases in this space between your hands, maybe at the very end of the breath, you even feel a sense of like a downward moving, sinking, releasing sensation. Can you allow yourself to really relax and let go into that? Keep your awareness resting, your mind resting in this space between the hands. And the effect of the release of the exhale, letting go into that with each breath. And we're not pushing the breath out, we're really relaxing into it. As that begins to, you begin to feel perhaps a sense of homecoming, coming home to yourself a little more with each breath. A sense of softening of any contraction in the body, holding of tensions in the muscles. Keep the little muscles around the eyes soft, the jaw soft, shoulders soft. As you hold your awareness to the movement of your breath in this space between the hands, perhaps you notice the mind quietening, more space between thoughts. So in a moment, we're going to begin to leave the practice. You can always pause the video and stay here 10-15 minutes. Maybe you're sensing already what a super restorative, replenishing, calming and grounding practice this is. So by all means, linger longer with it. Otherwise, just very gently, holding your awareness still to this place in your lower belly. Just very gently lift the hands about a centimeter or two from the body. And then gently release the arms alongside you, palms turned up. But we hold our awareness to the soft, effortless rise and fall of the breath where the hands have been placed in the belly. Maybe you notice that the breath has become slower, quieter, smoother, softer. All qualities, attributes that help to balance and calm Vata dosha when it is excited, elevated, which we will experience as maybe worry, anxiety, insomnia, and a wired feeling. This little practice will help to antidote all of that. Of course, please stay here, rest in this quiet, this stillness a little longer. Or gently bend the knees and place the feet on your bolster. Pause the breath. Feel your whole back body, the whole back drop heavily down for a moment. Reach your right arm overhead and roll onto your right side, resting your head on your arm. Take a couple of breaths here, maybe gently opening the eyes, just becoming aware again of the room, where you are, your body. And then left hand into the floor to press yourself up to sitting. Thank you. Thank you for joining me and for giving that little practice a go with me. It's a fantastic one to do on waking, particularly if you have any kind of exhaustive conditions, adrenal issues, high stress in your life, a lot of pressures where the nervous system's elevated. It's a great one to do on waking. Will help to reset everything, and also on sleeping as you lie in the bed, it can support the settling of the system for sleep.